Hey guys, and welcome back to another edition of Jesse's Jump Mail. All right, let's get down to it. So, I had a couple of things I wanted to say last night, and I was just exhausted. My sleep got thrown out of the way. It was just a rough night, but let's get down to it. Let's stop mixing words. So, Kathy Griffith issued the apology. I said everybody should just forgive her and let's move on. However, earlier today is yesterday she had I'm losing my track of days here. Yesterday she had a press conference, and it's not so much that I disagree with her trying to save what's left of her career. Even though I'm not a fan of her, I never have been. What I disagree with is the woman she had speaking on her behalf that opened up. Anytime you have to throw out your merits before you have a press conference, people really don't know who you are. And that's how I view it. If you told me that the President of the United States was getting ready to speak, you wouldn't have. That's all you'd have to say. Period. I know who he is. He doesn't have to tell me all the things he's done. He is recognized. Kathy Griffin is a woman that pushed the envelope in her artistic expression and went a little too far as far as what society and media and people think. But there's a couple of things going on here. So she said something and then she broke out in tears. I want you to understand, I don't buy the tears. She was right. In a predominantly male, what is the word? In the predominantly male, because I'm very angry and I'm very frustrated about this, she's used to white males. This lady, I'm sorry, she's just jacked up in the head, guys. She really, really is. I don't buy the tears. I don't buy the tweet that I saw that Barron Trump screamed when he saw the photo because he thought it was real. I don't buy that. I don't believe Barron Trump is so naive, even as a child, to believe that. And I will agree with her. For comedic expression, you are right there on that line. And let's be honest, it happens all the time. I was telling Trey the other day, I did not realize that some of the photos that were involved with President Obama were those crossed the line. I was not aware of them, but those crossed the lines most definitely, and the people that came up with those should have received the same sanctions against him as Kathy Griffith did. Yes, her career is over, but I don't really know if I believe that. Somebody's going to scoop her up because she pushed the envelope. We in society, we like that raw. We like to get that in. But anyway, the tears, I didn't buy that at all. And to be honest with you, what's going to hurt Kathy the most is that woman speaking on her behalf. It won't be the investigation going on as to whether or not that was a threat against the president, which we all know it wasn't. So that investigation is kind of useless. I don't know who authorized it. I don't know who thought about it. But it's a waste of money. It is a waste of money. You can tell that was not a threat against the president. It was just in poor taste. I'm glad she regrets doing it, but I don't buy the Trump bully thing. I really don't. She's that. This is the sad. In my opinion, this is a sad end to a situation. It's just. If Miss Griffin could have gone out with her head held high, I would have preferred that. But this is pathetic, and that lady she's got representing her was such a clown. You can't take a couple of questions from the media and then tell them that their questions are valid, and then when the media puts you in check and says, "Excuse me, I was asking her, not you," that's a sign for you to shut up. And I agree with that. I think that's great. If Kathy needed a spokesperson, then maybe the spokesperson should have been the one to hold the sign, the picture. Kathy doesn't need a spokesperson. Those people are hurting her. They're not helping her. But enough with her. I didn't really care for her career to begin with. I don't think she's a powerful or influential woman. For that type of comedy that she offers, I think that's great if that's what you're into. I personally, I got nothing for it. I can't even say I recall this woman outside of this incident, as far as anything that she had done. So that's enough with Kathy Griffin. Hopefully that whole thing dies and she retires at 56, as she was so adamantly telling people, because we need to be done with that. That's foolishness. So moving on, Bill Maher. Oh my goodness. Now, Bill's right there on the edge. Bill's been fired for remarks from other TV shows and syndications, from what I was reading on, and I actually watched the part of the interview where he was talking to the I think it's the senator, and he dropped the N-word, but. I'm gonna bring it to your attention. This is where some people are gonna be upset. Earl and I go on and on about it. I learned a long time ago, growing up the way I did, that there's a difference in how you address the African American community, at least with the people that I knew. I caught on early on that they use the N-word, but it is slang. It is not. If you use the N-word, and I mean, let's stop. The term nigger is offensive. Very offensive. I don't think anybody can dispute that. It is used in an offensive way with an offensive tone whenever anyone uses it. But I can tell you from being in the back of a truck, unloading a truck at a store, that if you don't know this, you can get hemmed up in the back real quick, and every African American in the truck will tell you using a word wrong, and you could tell I was just as lost as the day is long. And a guy by the name of Fat Joe, he probably helped save my skin, and he said it's nigga, Nigga. And so I started paying attention, and African Americans use that word a lot between the two of them. And I went back and I watched a couple of black comedians, and they do. And you know what? If you can use it, I can use it too. So listening to what Bill Maher said, it was, and my memory retention is horrible, a house nigga. He did not use the word in an offensive manner. Now, for every African American, and this will probably be the worst video ever because I'm touching on such a hot topic. None of you were slaves. None of you can remember what it was like to be a slave. None of you can remember what a house nigga was. You have no frame of reference. Had he used it in a derogatory way, yes, I would say he deserves the same punishment Kathy Griffin is getting. But he did not. He used the correct slang of that word that the majority of the African American community use. And if one side uses it, the other side should be able to use it too. This is called equality. This is, if you can use nigga, I can use nigga too. Let's call it for what it is, and let's be honest. If you can make racist jokes, I can make racist jokes. What I did not know is the word I was using was offensive. What I was hearing and what I said were two different things. And fortunately, I was blessed enough to be around people that knew me, that like, Jesse doesn't have a clue as to what he just said. And that happens. But what we have here is two different incidents in 2 different days where people are saying, I regret saying it or doing it. If when you're pushing an envelope, you need to be prepared for what comes. So Do I believe he needs to get fired? No. Do I think HBO needs to condemn what he said? No, I do not. Do I think the senator is spineless for saying, "Oh, I should have reacted when I heard that," more than just kind of, sit there? No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. You can tell that he meant it in the slang. And a lot of people may disagree with me, and that's okay. I am by far the least racist person in the world. And you know what? Earl said something about that a couple of months ago. I said nigga about something. And he said, "I've asked you not to say that word." But not throwing Earl's business out there, he had an incident where he experienced his first racial incident. I don't believe it merits being the poster child for all racist comments, but once again, if the African American community can use it, so can the white community use it. It all depends. It really all depends on who you're around. I think it's crazy. I think it's absolutely crazy. I'm not calling anybody, what do they call them, snowflakes or names, but I'm saying you guys need to you need to toughen up. There were some wrongs in our history, yes. But we're digressing so bad. We are going to be a society that is scared to speak. I need you to understand that. I'm 43. I'm not too terribly scared of it. It doesn't bother me. I'm a little fish in a big pond as far as everything goes. But I don't believe Bill Maher crossed that line. I do not. And I'm not a fan of Bill Maher. So I think everybody needs to get off his case. I think if you find somebody that finds the word nigga offensive, then you need to stop saying it. I agree. We have a ton of white young people that are trying to be assimilated into the African American culture with the dress, the slang, and the verbiage. And I get it, and that's fine if that's what you want to be. But don't get all butthurt when everybody uses the same slang that you use. That's insane. So now this is one more reason for every racist African American to get upset, every racist white American to get upset. Because if you want to know the truth, I like more black people than I like white people. I spend a whole lot of time thinking white people are stupid. But I'm called to love them all. I just have a hard time. Let's be fair about this. Let's be fair. Kathy Griffin, yes, she should have apologized. Bill Maher, no. They were in that context. That's how I feel about it. You may not like it, downvote it, don't share it, do what you have to do, but those are just the facts. Let's be fair. So it's crazy. It blows my mind. We are just waiting to be offended. There are people right now that are watching this video that don't like me, that are waiting. I got him. I told you, look at it. It was true. He said the N-word. Look, people gonna go crazy when they hear it. I even spelled it. But the fact of the matter is, guys, we're getting a little too sensitive. None of us can remember what it was like to be slaves. You may have experienced racism, and you may have been treated differently because of the color of your skin, be it black, white, Asian, Indian, Native American. I want to be PC about everything, Irish, German, whatever the case may be. You may have experienced some type of verbal abuse, but none of us knows what it's like to be a slave. None of us have any idea. So I need everybody that picked up that little rant card that you got. I need you to set it down, and I need you to find something else to get upset about. Because Bill Maher didn't do anything wrong. Kathy Griffin, yeah, she crossed the line. But she was right there at that line. That could have gone either way, in my opinion. And I would like to say again, I'm not a fan of President Obama, but I saw some of the pictures that people were saying, well, they can post this about Trump, but this didn't bother anybody for Obama. Had I seen those photos, I would have been just as outraged. He's the president of the United States. He's a human being. He does not deserve to be depicted in that manner. We're losing decency in our society for each other. That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. So there it is. That's what I wanted to talk about as far as the news goes. And that's it, guys. I've been gaming today. I threw my sleep pattern off yesterday. It was absolutely horrible. So I did a lot of gaming today. Actually had a mount drop, World of Warcraft, Onyxia thing. I don't know. It's not a very good looking mount, if you ask me, though. But a lot of people were excited about it. So actually, we rolled a Demon Hunter on the Horde side this time, because evidently I'm not smart enough to be able to recognize Alliance from Horde when you're creating a character in the game. So that's really on me. It is what it is. But yeah, guys, that's what. Look, I hope you're having a great weekend. I really do. I hope you didn't feed into all this, but if you did, this is my spin on it. If you know me, you know what I'm about. You know my thought process, and you pretty much know how I feel about things. This is crazy. Our world is nuts. Our world is absolutely crazy. But I did see a couple of tweets about something going on in London. So you guys take a couple of minutes. We'll go from racism to potential terrorist act. There was an incident involving a bus, I believe, that ran over several people. There are some fatalities, I believe, from the reports from Twitter. But there are also reports of a stabbing that happened in London as well. Just be with London right now. Just say a prayer for their country. Say a prayer for our country. All the countries are in trouble as far as I'm concerned. It's really all coming out in the wash. How people feel. And when people show you who and what they are, believe them. Believe them. But that's it, guys. If you've got a comment, leave a comment. I would say we're not going to argue about this, but the fact is we're just not. I'm not the argumentative type. It's an either do or don't. They did it. Let's deal with it and move on. They both deserve forgiveness, even though, in my opinion, one didn't do anything wrong. Leave me an email. Follow me. All the contact information is all up there on your screen in my bio. Do what you got to do. Like it, don't like it, share it, subscribe. The choice is up to you. But I promise you, I'm not going to say anything that I don't really believe is fair or that I don't really believe is right. I would invite you now to begin, being a better person. And as far as I'm concerned, that starts with getting to know Jesus Christ. He'll change your life. And in this world, maybe that's what you need, is a life-changing experience. For those of you that knew him and walked away, I pray you take this as an invitation to come back to him. Guys, you will never know how in love God is with you until you jump off into it. You're so quick to fall in love with everybody else and all the things going on in this world. Why not give God a chance? Or a second chance for some of you. Guys, thank you for tuning in. I love you. God loves you best. Be blessed, be kind, or be silent. Thank you for watching Jesse's Junk Mail.